34 years old, and I feel like the Israel that I grew up in as a teenager, as a kid, is completely different than the Israel that exists today, that I live in today as a husband and as a father. Something has changed in the last 15 years, and it's something that bothers me a lot. Israel was based on the principle of Judaism and democracy should work together as a Jewish democratic state, and I would say that's the best realization of what Zionism could have been. But nowadays, it seems like Israel is tearing apart in two pieces, to the Jewish part or to the democratic part. You either identify with your Jewish identity, and then you less identify with the democratic values. You're either very Democrat, and then you don't necessarily agree with the Jewish values. And I think that's something which could lead to a disaster in Israel, and I don't see the future in where it takes us as a state. And that's something in the Mechina, in Hannaton, that we're trying to deal with. I want to give them Zionism as it was supposed to be.
An important lesson I learned in the Mechina is that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. You can no longer stay silent to problems that you see in your day-to-day life and just continue. You're participating in the problem, you're allowing it to continue.
What's unique about the Hannaton experience, there are many people with many thoughts and values and ideas, and they work together.
We're trying to teach them democratic values such as equality, pluralism, equality between Arabs and Jews in the state of Israel.
I was talking to a kid at a boarding school that I volunteer at, and I asked him what his favorite soccer team is, and he answered with Beitar Jerusalem. I asked him if he didn't see any problem with it, that team doesn't allow any Arab players to play on its team. He said he didn't see anything wrong with it at all. So I said, why not? Do you not think that has any element of racism in it? And he said, no, it's their choice. They can choose if they want Arab players or if they don't. So after a lengthy conversation and showing him different sides of the story, he was able to finally see that there might be more to the story than what he saw. He got the other perspective, which is something I really learned in the Mechina, to always look at the bigger picture.
כל הכלים שקיבלתי במכינה ושזה פשוט פתח לי את הראש וגם לי להבין שאני יכול לעסוק בהרבה יותר דברים ממה שחשבתי ועכשיו אני בתהליך של לחפש, אבל אני יודע שהמגוון שלי הרבה יותר רחב.
I was raised in an Orthodox home. I always went to Orthodox synagogues and I always prayed in separate minyanim. And I always thought that I liked it and that it was the right thing for me. And on the first Shabbat in Mechina, where I had no idea what type of synagogue there was in Hannaton, I just wasn't sure, I walked in and I saw the way everyone was standing together and singing so happily and dancing, and I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I was shocked first, and I tried to get myself comfortable, and it certainly took a couple of weeks. But now I can definitely say that it's one of my favorite places to go, and that I feel that when I walk in, I'm part of a family and part of a group of people that are proving that it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you can daven any way that you want, and you can be a part of something no matter where you come from.
The goal is for our participants to become graduates and spread these ideas throughout Israel and maybe bring back what used to be in Israel to what it is today. But we need to get to know each other. We need to understand each other's languages. We need to understand each other's culture. We need to work on our accessibility towards, if it's the Arab population, if it's the Ethiopian Jewish population, or just immigrants who are coming to Israel. And I think accessibility is the word that could give us a solution.
I had to learn how to be able to adjust myself to each one of the people that I was working with, to do the right thing for each one of the people and to meet their needs. And I'm sure that because of Mechina and because of being exposed to a world of people that are different from one another but can work together, I was able to prove to myself and to my soldiers that the place that we come from is not relevant, because together we have one thing that we need to do, and we're going to do it no matter where we come from. And in the army we served together, didn't matter where we came from, and I feel that the fact that I was in a Mechina that taught me about all the different people and about how we can coexist and live together, that certainly gave me the tools that I needed as an officer in order to be able to bring those values to my soldiers.
The Mechina started its 5th year just this week, and our first graduates are getting out of the army, and they're thinking about what to do with their future.
It's a big word to say that I want to be a leader, but there's definitely certain things that I feel that are not the way that I would like them to be, and I personally want to act in order to make them better.
I see myself as an agent of change in the small battles. The battles that take place on Facebook, where there's an anti-Israel post and people are just bashing Israel, I see myself as an agent of change there, where I can present the Israeli perspective, a different perspective to what they were seeing there. I see myself an agent of change in the simple education in the dorm that I'm volunteering at, working with the children and helping them think through what they're saying, not just saying mottos in the air, death to Arabs, to actually think about the implications. What I think is unique about Hannaton is that it creates a perfect simulation of the Israeli society. You'll have people from cities, you'll have people from kibbutzim in the north, kibbutzim in the south, you'll have people coming from America who have just come to Israel. From all over the world, you'll have people coming together in one place. By having a simulation of that here, you're really preparing for the real deal when we have to change the whole Israeli society.
I was given an opportunity through being in Mechina to understand the person that I am and to understand the things that are important to me, not just to be able to say what's important to me, but to be able to understand why these things are important to me and to explain them and to ask myself questions about certain things that I was so sure I thought I knew.
It's like throwing a rock in a lake. The waves reach to many different places, to their parents of the participants, to the kibbutz, to the community. When people see it and they see it's possible, other people will do it as well, or maybe they would think it's possible to live together.